Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Rateska Brown, a senior from Alvin, South Carolina, currently leads the women's basketball team in scoring. And in your last game, you hit 7 threes, scored 31 points out in Shawnee. Talk about that game and the kind of groove you got into.
Well, it was a great game for me. You know, my teammates, they was looking for me. Every chance that I got, they see that I was hot, and you know, we was very unselfish. We played together, and that's the great thing about being on a team like this.
You got several explosive guards on the team with yourself, Yvonne Neal, Janae Borum, all capable of going off at any one point. How is that playing with all that kind of explosiveness?
It's an honor. It's an honor because it's so much weight lifted off everybody as individuals. We can, like, if I have a bad game, I know Tay got me. I know Nay got me. I know everybody's capable of scoring. So it's a great feeling to have such a large arsenal on the team.
You were the Conference 6 Player of the Year last year when you were at Temple. Talk about the experience of playing against that high level of competition.
Well, I mean, it was a great feeling to play against the best of the best. You know, I think it helped me become a better player, you know, helped seeing the game, the IQ for the game, the love for the game, the passion for the game. Like, just being a part of it and noticing how different level of competition can be so hard. It's an honor playing for them and winning that award. It was great.
And what brought you here to OCU?
Well, I mean, it was a lot of adversity, you know. I mean, it was just a lot of things that was going on between the coach and, you know, the playing time and things like that, you know. So I just felt like it was best for me to just go somewhere and for my senior year and get a ring, you know. So my teammate from my old school, she told me about this program. It was a last-minute decision, and I was just like, oh, Oklahoma City, never been to Oklahoma, so I'll try it out. You know, I love traveling, so it was an honor. I just came here. I liked the way Coach was talking. I liked that she was winning, you know, and she's a great coach. I love playing for her.
What's your major here at OCU?
Liberal arts.
What career plans do you have following basketball?
Well, after basketball, you know, I would like to become a coach someday. But when I'm done, I would like to go overseas first. But I definitely would love to coach. I have to stay into the basketball mindset. I have to. I love it.
I know you've mentioned interest in motivational speaking. Can you give us something? Why is that an interest to you?
I love helping people, you know, and coming from where I came from, you know, like it wasn't really. It was either basketball or you was going to be, you know, you was going to do bad things. And it was like, I want, you know, to let kids know, like, you can make it, you know, if you put your mind to it, if you follow your dreams, if you stay in school, you know, you can make it just like I did. So that's really why I want to become a motivational speaker.
Can you tell us about a typical day for you?
Typical day for me. Well, I don't really like sleep that much, you know. I hate sleep, you know. I mean, it sounds like a cliche to say, well, you sleep when you die, but that's really my mindset. So I like to keep myself busy with other things. If I'm not, you know, in the gym, I'm probably listening to music all the time. I'm eating, you know, that's the typical day for me.
All right, thanks very much for talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Rateska Brown. The Stars will open conference play on December the 4th against Texas Wesleyan. You can follow their progress on OCUsports.com.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org.
Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to men's basketball coach Dionne Phelps. The Stars are 3-2 on the year as they head into conference play starting this Thursday. And coach, in your last time out, you played Central Oklahoma for a second time this season, overcame a 13-point deficit and won that game. Offensive explosion in the game. Talk about the keys.
You know what, I think one of the keys is, you know, we put a great emphasis on trying to put two halves together. That first half, we, as you mentioned, we got behind. I thought Theron's rhythm was off a little bit in the first half. As you could see, he found it in the second half, which I think he scored, 22 points in the second half. He played well. I think a lot of that had to do with just a higher level of energy in that second half. We were focused, we were locked in, and that's one of the games that, as you know, I mean, they're so close to us that it becomes a rival. And I think our guys kind of took it kind of personal in the second half and wanted to play a better game.
Your 3 wins have come over Central Oklahoma twice and then over Southern Nazarene, another crosstown team. You said it kind of turns into a rivalry, those city area games, not to mention the fact that those are both NCAA Division II schools at this point.
Exactly.
Talk about the kind of increased level of competition there.
You know what? I think it's good. I think that's one of the things that we wanted to do, I wanted to do in our scheduling, is to make sure that we were playing some high-level teams to kind of, give us a better feel of what our conference is going to be like, especially the second half of conference when we get back in January. It's really thick. The first part of our conference this year with Texas Wesleyan and Wayland Baptist, I mean, that is the level of play that we have to play. And I figured that we probably needed to get that experience as quickly as possible to be able to be at our best come this Thursday and this Saturday. So, but playing those higher level teams, it's a benefit that they're close. Those are teams that, as far as Southern Nazarene is concerned, that used to be in our conference. So that rival still exists. They have a very well coached program. I think in that game, Southern Nazarene only had 4 turnovers. They played a really smart game. They made us work. They made us adjust. And I think their size, along with Oklahoma Central size, really helps us. They both have depth. So those type of things really help us to improve each year.
And one of the unfortunate outcomes of this Southern Nazarene game was that you lost Terrence Bonhomme to an injury. Talk about how the team has responded to losing one of your starters.
You know what? It took a while. I'm not going to lie. I mean, his leadership and the work that he put in, I think our team had a lot of confidence in him. I think, they appointed him as a leader. His scoring production it really helps. He's highly competitive. So it took us a while to adjust. After that Southern Nazarene game, we had to kind of redefine ourselves a little bit and find out who's going to take that next step as a leader. And unfortunately, during that time period, as through the adjustment, we dropped 2 games. As you mentioned, we were 3-2. We go down to St. Thomas and trying to find who we are now. That was an adjustment, and we took that loss. And I think no coach wants to ever mention that a loss helps them. But I think sometimes in those losses, you have to find out who you are as a program. And you have to find out where you're going to stand when it comes adversity. And we took a loss there, then we came back home and still trying to find that adjustment of the leadership and who's going to take over as a leader, and took another hit by Langston. And so I think now we're starting to, with the UCO game, we start to find our stride a little bit. We've had a little bit of time off since Thanksgiving, so I'm hoping that we can continue that.
Can you point to any individuals who have taken over that leadership role that Terrence had?
You know what I do? Gary England has really stepped up. He's not going to say very much in the locker room or anything like that, but on the floor with his energy and how he plays, he brings a lot of leadership qualities through that, just his energy. RJ McGee is starting to step up in that direction, and I think that really helps us. I mean, with all the experience he has from last semester, I think the guys turn to him from time to time to be able to lead us through those games. But we're getting it a little bit from everybody. I think everyone's chipping in. I think Jonathan Reed, who's coming off the bench, his energy. And I like that. I don't always ask guys that they have to be a vocal leader all the time, because that's not everybody's personality. Bonhomme started to do that for us. But to find opportunities to lead the way they feel best. And those guys that I just mentioned are all about energy. And that's what they're bringing to the floor. And that's that leadership that they bring.
Gary England's been among the national leaders in rebounds, and it looks like, at least to this point in the season, he could start to be a double-double machine for your team. Talk about his energy on the floor. You kind of mentioned it before, but just his tenacity as far as rebounding is concerned.
You know what? And you've probably seen it before. There are just certain guys that have a nose for that. And Gary does. He just always finds a way to get himself in position for a rebound. He has a knack for doing it. He's quick. He's pretty quick, and he's quick off his feet. And we need him to be that every night. That was, like we talked about before, that's the area we wanted to improve upon, is our rebounding. And he obviously has brought that spark to our team. And, you know, what's interesting is that Dorian Gigger's following suit. He's starting to pick up on those tendencies that Gary England has, and you know they compete against each other each day in practice. So we just need to continue to go in that direction. Even with Yvonne, Dema, those guys have to be able to bring that to us. But Gary has done an excellent job of that, and I hope you're right. I hope he could be a walking double-double.
What were the circumstances around getting RJ McGee back for this year?
You know, one of the things we had to do was it was a joint effort between us and Eastern Illinois. RJ had found himself in a situation where he was able to play one game at Eastern Illinois, and we had to write an appeal to the NCAA. And Eastern Illinois did a phenomenal job helping us out with that process. It took, to be honest with you, it took about 5 months of getting the appeal letter together in conjunction with Eastern Illinois and getting their input on it. And then once it was sent to the NCAA, that process from that point, once they got all the paperwork, took another 2.5 months. And it was you know, for RJ, it couldn't happen soon enough. For us, it was tedious, but we knew it would be going into the summer, knowing that you kind of have to make a decision. Are you going to sit and wait for the NCAA, or are you going to go try to find someone to replace RJ? Well, it's hard to replace a guy with his talents. But we were going to, you know, we were at that point in July where we were like trying to figure out which way are we going to go. And it was very fortunate. I think fortunate for him and fortunate for us that he was able to get that, because with that, not only just what's happening on the basketball court, it gives this young man an opportunity to get a degree from here. And it gives us another year, 2 more semesters to invest in him and him to invest in his own education. So I think more than anything, him walking away from this university with a good basketball experience but having that degree, it's amazing. And when he got the news, I mean, he probably wouldn't want me to say it, but he really broke down and cried a little bit because he knew that he wanted his degree from here.
What have you guys done with the time off that you've had since your last game as you head into conference play this week?
You know, right before the Thanksgiving, you mean the time off before Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Yeah. We took the first 2 days, we just got some conditioning in. We wanted to try to get our conditioning level as high as it could be before the Thanksgiving break, because we knew we'd lose some. And so we took off Tuesday afternoon after practice. I gave them Wednesday and Thursday off, obviously, for Thanksgiving. And then Friday we came back into the gym, did some more conditioning. We were off Saturday because of the wrestling meet that was going on, so our gym was being occupied, and now we're right back at it again. So we lost, I'll tell you honestly, we lost a little bit of conditioning in that. And so hopefully after yesterday's practice, we can get it back again today and then start really focusing in on our opponents for this week.
You guys have put the phrase all in on your warm-ups this year. Talk about what that means to the team.
You know, I just really wanted our guys to buy into each other more than anything. And that's been the theme since we've all been back. It was the theme that we developed in the summertime, that I just want our guys to believe in each other and buy into making each other better. And it's something that I think that they've, at this point in time, they have grabbed onto. But as you know, until you face real adversity, you really can't determine how far bought in you are. And so I think the 2 games that we lost, I think it definitely gave us an opportunity to find that out and test that. And I think we're at a point now that, you know, we are committed to helping each other get better. We're committed to all the little things, the details that it's going to take to win. And we found out that there's certain things that, you know, yes, we won some D2 games, but we felt like we weren't winning the right way in order to be able to win in conference. And so being all in means to buy into the little details, buy into each other, buy into what we're trying to do every day in practice. And so I think we're heading in that right direction.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Talking to men's basketball coach Dionne Phelps. The Stars will open conference play at Texas Wesleyan on December the 4th, and you can keep up with them on OCUsports.com.